What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Picks and Pucks with some more puck talk. And we got a good week to talk about. Finally, 2-1 this week. We got wins and goals. Yes, finally, boys. We got it. We're going to get into how they did it a little bit. And it's almost a bit shocking because in both of the wins this week, they got outshot, which is something that we've not really seen this year. So, but let's get right into it here. First game back last Thursday. It was, I think it was Thursday. It was Coyotes and Blackhawks in Chicago. Crawford's return, which obviously is huge for Chicago. He's a guy that's just, you can't really replace a net as you saw last year. So him coming back for them is huge. But we spoiled it. Yeah. So happy we spoiled his return. And really, you can't fault him for anything, any of the goals, I don't think. I think he played pretty well. So, let's get into the stats first here. So we had 31 shots on goal, and they had 34 shots on goal. So again, we eclipsed the 30-shot mark, but we get outshot. So that's an interesting thing. I think that might have been the first time that has happened to us this year, and it's interesting that we broke out into 4 goals and a win. So, face-offs, dead even. We didn't even get a power play, but we killed off both of their power plays, so that was good. We have goals from Kraus, Hinostroza, and Keller. Hinostroza got an empty netter to get the 4th goal. This was a really solid game for Clayton Keller. His goal was on a really solid turnover. Just a really good play, and then in a little mini breakaway, he makes a nice little deke move, puts it right between Crawford's pads. Sick move, and then he got the assist on Krause's goal. So I think it was a 2-point night for him that night, maybe more. Vinny had a sick shot. Finally, he's kind of coming out of his own a little bit. He's starting to remind me a little bit of Max Domi, but faster and almost more willing to shoot, which I very much appreciate because clearly he's got a killer shot, and I hope he uses it more. We have Gustafsson getting the goal. I think that's how you pronounce it. You have Gustafsson there getting the goal for the Blackhawks. Crawford making 27 of 30 stops. Ronta making 33 of 34 saves. Both goalies played good. I mean, all of these goals are just they were not easy stops whatsoever, and sometimes you just gotta tip your cap to the goal scorers on that one. So really happy that we started this week off with a win, especially in Chicago. Oh, it's a great feeling to beat Chicago, always. Let's move on to the Saturday game, Saturday afternoon. Definitely a little strange to have a Saturday afternoon game, but I liked it. So it's against the Jets. We all know we don't beat the Jets very often, and it's easy to see why. The Jets are such a good team, and I think that's what was more prevalent in this game, is that the Jets are just so good. I mean, we outshoot them 45-32. We did not win in the face-offs. We did not score on a power play, but I mean, I think that's the second time we've eclipsed 40 shots in a game, but for a lot of that, we outplayed them. I mean, it's crazy to think that, but I feel as if we did. But the Jets are just that good. They have the ability to capitalize on their power play chances, as you can see from being 1 for 3 on the power play. They just have this ability to score when they need to. I think it was after Keller's first goal that started the third period, they score right after to push it back to a 2-goal lead. And that's what a good team is going to do. If they're up by 2 going into the third, they let in a goal kind of pretty soon right away, and then they score right back to get back that 2-goal lead. And that's just what a good team is going to do. That's just how it is. So we got goals from Fisher and 2 from Keller, 6 goals from Keller. Pass from OEL to Fisher was amazing. That was just a great play overall. So we have goals from Lowry, Myers, Morrissey, Perreault, and an empty netter from Wheeler on the Jets' goals, and I think it was the Perot goal where Tocchet challenged for goaltender interference. And this was definitely a good challenge, especially at that moment, because that's what I was just talking about. That was a goal that kind of pushed the third period back to a 2-goal lead, which, if you can get that call back, that's huge. But ultimately, I did agree with keeping that as a good goal. There definitely was contact with Antti Ranta from the Jets player, but he was kind of being forced into that strip of ice there by our defenseman. It might have been OEL, I think, but he kind of had nowhere to go and was kind of just almost forced into Antti. So unfortunately, I have to agree with that call, but man, that would have been amazing if that got called back somehow. Brossoit played amazing game. If you're making 42 stops in a game, like I mentioned in a previous video about Gibson, you're having a solid game. There's just no doubt about that. Ranta also played pretty well. There's no way you can really fault him for any of the goals. They're just good goals, It's just tough to stop. So I really think that game was more so about the Jets just being a very, very good team and us just playing well, but just obviously not quite good enough to get to their level, unfortunately. But we're going to be there soon. Give it another year or two, we'll be there, hopefully. So let's move on to the last night's game against the Blue Jackets. And right off the bat, the Blue Jackets score. And in my head, I'm thinking about previous Blue Jackets games where we are just unable to match their speed. We can't seem to get goals against Bobrovsky. We can't seem to do anything with them. And to be fair, the Blue Jackets were playing a very, very good first period. They were fast. They were kind of making the Coyotes play a bit scrambly. So they played a good period. But what was important was that first Fischer goal of his hat trick. It happened. It wasn't instantly after the Dubois goal, but it was maybe 5 or 6 minutes. Right around there maybe. But that was huge because I think they mentioned on the broadcast that it was like the last 2 or 3 games we've only scored 1 goal each against Bobrovsky. So it was huge to come back and tie that game at that point in time and get that goal. And then ultimately we finish in the first period with a 2-1 lead, and that was like, whoa. We can actually score against Bobrovsky. Like, where is this coming from? Strome gets that second goal there off of what was essentially a whiff by Vinny. But wow, what a recovery. That kid's got some talent. To be able to completely whiff a shot, but then be able to recover in a split second to where he can make a backhanded pass to Strome right in the middle of the ice like that, wow. Just an all-around great play. And so I remember also, too, on the broadcast that they showed a locker room conversation between Tocchet and the players before the start of the second period, and he was not happy with that first period. And, I kind of scratched my head at that a bit. It's like, you guys have a 1-goal lead and you're not happy about that? Wow. I appreciate that. I appreciate a coach like Tocchet who is going to be like, yeah, you have a 2-1 lead, but only just. You guys have to still push the pace, and you still have to want it. And that clearly set in with the team, because then they went on to score 2 more goals in the rest of the game, thanks to Fischer and Stepan, really. That's why I'm wearing a Stepan jersey today. Stepan assists on all Fischer's goals there. That line, I think someone mentioned, is the SPF line. Great name, by the way. That line, if that can get some chemistry going, whew. They already got chemistry, clearly, even though it's just 1 game. But if they can keep that momentum going, that's going to be such a tough line to stop. Because you got Perlini and Fischer, who both have great speed. Perlini with a shot from the outside. Fischer who can get to the net. Stepan, who is a great 200-foot centerman. Fisher can also play some defense. I mean, that line's going to be so hard to stop if they can just keep this momentum rolling. Let's get into some of the stats real quick here. I think this is our first game having less than 30 shots, and it's like, maybe obviously it's good to get shots, but maybe that's not the end-all be-all to how a game goes. Like, as we see over here, we have 45 shots and only 3 goals, but over here we have 26 shots and 4 goals. So it's just like, I don't know, shots just don't always tell the story. And I know I've mentioned that I am like really, really happy about them getting all these shots and whatnot, but ultimately what matters is them going in, and that's what happened in this one. So that was awesome. Face-offs were almost about even. The important thing, one of the important things too, is that we did score on the power play. We got Galchenyuk back, and he made our first line power play look so much different. I mean, the defense. I think it was a 4-on-3 I saw where we finally got some good momentum and passing going on. Galchenyuk, you have to honor his shot. But then when you also have OEL and Keller out there, you have to honor those two as well. So it's like, who do you take away? If you take away all 3, you're just going to leave another guy open. So you have to, penalty killers are going to have to find a way to honor all 3 shots without letting one of them go. And that's just not going to be an easy thing. I appreciate Galchenyuk's willingness to shoot as well. You can tell he was rusty, but I loved his ability to shoot and his want to shoot, and his shot is hard. Like, wow. He's going to score some goals on this power play, just without a doubt. It was nice to see Strome break through and score again. He's kind of had a slight rough patch lately, but it was good to see him get back on the score sheet. We had, another topic too, looking at this. Kemper comes in for Ronta and has a hell of a game. 35 out of 36 saves. Oh, that was huge. I mean, the team itself played good, but also Kemper played extremely well too. And that was one of the bigger keys to this win, I believe. It was Kemper playing as well as he did. So if we can get some backup goaltending like that, keep going forward, like I mentioned in my previous video with his game against the Wild, yeah, our goaltending is going to be solid. Bobrovsky makes 22 stops and 26 saves, and I don't know. Like, I've never seen us score this many goals against Bobrovsky, so I'm wondering what was up with that. I think most of it obviously was defense issues and not him at all. But, like, wow, we never score 4 goals against Bobrovsky. So that was awesome. And, yeah, I mean, just an amazing week of hockey. We go 2-1 in this week. We're up to 3-5, which still doesn't look great, but I can bet we're probably the best team under 500 right now, and we're only getting better. We're gonna get Chychrun back soon. Galchenyuk is just gonna improve. He's gonna get more reps in game and in practice, and then his line with Krause and Keller are gonna improve. Man, this team it's so great that it's early on in the year too, where we can go on a run next month and push ourselves right into a playoff spot. It is certainly not unobtainable right now. They can do it, and I'm so excited to watch all of it. Like, yes, we have a hockey team in Arizona who are actually playing well. And if this doesn't excite you as a Coyote fan, I don't know what will. So thank you for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I would appreciate it if you would subscribe to this account. You can also follow my Twitter account at PixN, the letter N, Pucks, just like my account here. So yeah, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it if you made it this far. And let's go Coyotes. Week 3. This was week 3. Week 4 coming up. We're 8 games in and ton of time to go. Let's go Coyotes. Here we go.